Hey everyone, it's Steve Stewart in beautiful Palm Springs, California, and I'm going to take a walk today in this neighborhood. You can see behind me is the Denny's, and I'm on the main street here. It's called Palm Canyon Drive. I don't know if you'll be able to see the sign behind me here. Let's see, and it's on the corner of Palm Canyon Drive and Vista Las Palmas. So I'm going to take Vista Las Palmas and I'm going to walk to the former home of Elvis Presley. Actually, it was the Honeymoon, Elvis Presley Honeymoon Hideaway. It's where he and Priscilla spent their honeymoon back in 1967. And exactly a year after their honeymoon at this house, Lisa Marie was born. So this was the place where she was conceived, and they rented this house for a year, and then after that they actually moved to a different house here in Palm Springs that they actually owned for 7 years. So depending on the weather, I may go to both houses, or I may just go to the one house. It's about 90 degrees. It's June 2nd, and so I'm not sure if I'll be able to, because of the heat, if I'll be able to get to both places, but we'll see. I'm just going to play it by ear, but at least go to the one. And so we're going to head up the street here, and I'm going to turn the camera around so you can actually see where we are. There's a little a designation of the neighborhood. This is one of the nicest neighborhoods in the city of Palm Springs. Okay, so as I was saying, this neighborhood is a very nice neighborhood. It's called Old Las Palmas, and we're going to go to the right here on North Via Las Palmas. If you take a walk in this neighborhood, one of the first things you notice is that many of the homes are behind these huge hedges for privacy. So even though there's some really beautiful homes, most of them you can't see because of the hedges. So we started in Old Las Palmas, but as I cross Las Palmas and go into Via Monte Vista, you see it's Vista Las Palmas. It says that it was established in 1950, looks like 8, could be 3. This was the newer area of the Las Palmas neighborhood, and this one's a little bit closer to the mountains, and you find a lot more mid-century modern homes that were built in the 50s and 60s, where on the other side, Old Las Palmas, you'll find mostly Spanish homes and much more older historic homes. So now when you get to this little fork in the road here on Las Palmas, you go to the right. So you can see these homes here are much more modern and newer. These were built in the 50s and 60s, mid-century modern style that's now so popular here. And not as many hedges around either. And from what I heard, that's why Elvis decided to move from this house after a year, because there just wasn't enough privacy. So he moved to another home that had much more privacy. So here's the home here. It was built by Robert Alexander, and who specialized in these really beautiful modern homes. At the time, it wasn't a mid-century modern home, it was just a modern home. And it was called the House of Tomorrow. And what you see straight ahead, that's the bedroom. The whole thing there is the bedroom on that second floor. I've taken a couple of tours over the years, and it's really a beautiful home to see. So you can see it's got the little plaque here. So it was built in 1960, and you can see it's got the gates with the music symbol there. So they do tours. Let's see, there's a box out here. Yeah, so they talk about the different tours and about the history of the house. And you can find all of this online as well. Hello there.
Hey. Can you rent it out? Is that how it goes?
Well, they have tours and things. They used to rent it out. They probably still do. It changes kind of every year.
Is that right?
Yeah. Do you guys live here?
No.
No, just vacationing?
Seattle.
Yeah. It's they used to have tours a couple times a year. I don't know. It probably says on this flyer.
Experience, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I think we missed the May 1st tour. They usually do it on the Honeymoon.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's a beautiful house. So it's a major tourist attraction down here, and as I was saying, they do offer tours throughout the year, and it's also been used in movies and TV and commercials, and you may have seen it in magazines and advertising. So it's on a little cul-de-sac here. So I'm going to stop and see how far this was. I don't even think it was a half mile. So let me check my pedometer. So look at that really intricate double door. It's really beautiful. That's the living room there, straight to the left of the door. And then straight behind that is the pool. And see, it's got these really nice pavers. This was a really big thing back in the 60s with the mid-century homes, mid-century modern homes. So if you've never been here, it's definitely worth a visit. And you don't have to walk. If you're not into walking, you can always drive up here. As you see, it's just a half mile up the street from Denny's on Palm Canyon. So very easy to find. All right, so let's go see if we can, if I can make it to the next house without having a heat stroke. So heading back on via Las Palmas to Palm Canyon, I'm going to make a left here at via Monte Vista. So instead of going straight back to Palm Canyon, where I came from, I'm going to make a left at Monte Vista, and I'm going to walk up here until it dead ends. I'm going to make a right and make a few little zigzags along the way and head to Elvis's second home. Okay, I've made it to Vista Chino, the end of the block here that I mentioned, and I've worked up a sweat and a little out of breath. It is a little bit of pale, and we're going to be going up to that neighborhood up there, but we have to go down a block and over to be able to get up there. On the left, this house over here, this was once owned by Barry Manilow, and he lived there, I think it was when he first probably moved to Palm Springs many years ago, and he's since moved down to South Palm Springs, where he has a huge compound and quite a bit more privacy. This is a fairly well-traveled street here with not a lot of privacy. So that's not very attractive there. That's sort of the back. That's probably the entrance for the gardeners and the service help. So up here a little ways, you'll see the front entrance. This is one of the most famous homes in Palm Springs. And off the top of my head now, I can't remember if it was John Lautner who designed this or Richard Neutra. I believe it was one of those architects. Okay, so I just passed the former home of Barry Manilow here in Palm Springs, and now I'm down to Via Norte. So I'm going to make a left-hand turn here, and you can see the name of the The neighborhood now is Little Tuscany. And I think it's at Chino Canyon. Here's the, yeah. So Chino Canyon is the street. It's just one block north of, stay here in the shade a little bit, one block north of Vista Chino, which is a pretty main street. And then we're going to go up here to the end of the street and make a right, and then it's just up a hill a little bit. It's not too far. It was either Zsa Gabor or Eva Gabor used to live almost at the very top. And so you want to go right on Chino Canyon, and it just goes around. It's a big circle. And Elvis's home, former home, is not too far up the street here. Okay, so here's Elvis's former Palm Springs home. You can see it's a Spanish style, which was more traditional. These are the older homes here in Palm Springs. Let me go across the street so you can get a better look. Now, before the current owner purchased this, it was owned by a guy who was a huge Elvis fan, and he opened it up, the home, for tours. And he did that for many years, and I took a couple of tours. It was really fascinating. Almost nothing had been changed inside from when Elvis was there, which was good and bad. It was kind of surprising, but then when you look back and realize it was the 1970s when he lived there, you know, it was just what homes looked like then. Now, the way you used to be able to tell for sure that this was the house was the fireplace had a big black portrait. It was sort of one of those just black and white silhouettes of Elvis, which was very distinctive, and you couldn't miss it, but the new owners took that down. So it does look like the home, I was thinking it was for sale, but maybe it's just being landscaped by a company that's similar to one of the real estate companies here. So there you have it, the Elvis Presley, former Elvis Presley Palm Springs home in all its glory, looking pretty much exactly the way it did when he was living here. So my pedometer app says that I walked 1.6 miles. So that's only a little over 1.5 miles. So round trip would be about 3 miles. Of course, I'm not going back up to the Elvis house, so maybe a little bit less than 3 miles round trip. So you can see it's a pretty easy walk. Well, for me, it's an easy walk, and it is uphill. I don't know if you can tell from this video, but the hill is fairly steep. You know, I don't mind, especially if it's a cool day in the morning. Right now, I have to say it's very warm. It could be close to 100 by now. And I'm definitely going to jump in the swimming pool when I get home. And that's always my favorite things to do. It's sort of my reward after my walks when it's warm, to go home and jump in the pool. Tours are really big here, celebrity home tours and architectural tours. As I was leaving the Elvis home, this bus was just heading up to make the circle there and do the homes there. Now, one of the things that I enjoy doing sometimes, just for fun, is I take my walks in Palm Springs and I see how many lions I can find outside of the homes. It's very popular here. I've found dozens and dozens and dozens of homes with lions guarding the front gates and walkways. So, okay, so heading back to my car, I remembered that I was going to walk by the former home, one of the former homes of Liberace. It's right here on the corner, and that tour bus that just drove by was just stopped in front, and they just pulled away. It's one of the homes on the Palm Springs Celebrity Home Tours. And you'll notice there's lions in front of Liberace's former home as well. So there are definitely lots of lions guarding the homes here. So you can see his piano mailbox, which is really cute. We have a lot of really fun, interesting mailboxes down here too. That's another thing I do on my walks here is see how many weird, crazy, fun, cute mailboxes I can find. Okay, so here I am getting my selfie in front of Liberace's former home with his little cute little piano mailbox as I head back to where I started, which was, let's do it this way, down on Palm Canyon Drive. So the whole trip is only around 3 miles. So it's a pleasant trip, I think. Maybe not, maybe not best if you choose to go on a day like today where it's probably close to 100 degrees. I wouldn't recommend that at all, even with lots of water. But there you go. Sometimes I don't always do the smartest thing. So, all right, so I think that is probably the last celebrity home I'm going to come to on my way back to Denny's. So I'm going to sign out and say thanks again, as always, for watching my vlog. And please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section, especially if you've taken this walk or been to any of these celebrity homes, or if you were smarter than me and took the air-conditioned tour bus, like the one that just drove by. So anyway, love to hear from you, and thanks again for tagging along on my walk today.